Chad Cook, partner at Bridgepoint Technologies. And basically I focus on the edge, thus the name EdgeM8. And we help companies, technology solutions to help get them closer to their customers, their employees, and their data. And basically the premise of EdgeM8 is to, I like to get to know and interview different business leaders, entrepreneurs, and salespeople, and see what their edge and what makes them different and what makes them tick. Today we have Lee. She is in health, and she's going to tell us a little bit more about health and wealth. So why don't you tell me a little bit more about yourself, Lee, and your company, and we'll kick it off.
Sure. My name is Lee. I am an SF native. I have been a nurse since
Frisco?
Frisco.
I'm just kidding.
I've been a nurse for 15 years now, and a little bit after becoming a nurse, I wanted to learn more about wealth, which was spurred by reading the book Rich Dad Poor Dad.
Oh, that's literally one of my favorite books.
Yeah, so I read that book at 19. It changed the whole way I looked at
passive
income, the quadrants, and everything. So I knew that it was important for me to have my 9 to 5, but I also wanted to say, like, hey, what can I do with my 5 to 9? And so also after having my daughter, I really wanted to make sure I was able to protect like the income that I was earning. And then what was presented to me was a company called World Financial Group, where I was able to learn about financial concepts, and then it just grew from there.
Oh, that's great. Very familiar with the residual model.
Yep.
Our industry kind of has that going on as well.
Awesome.
So you don't have to sell me, but all 10 subscribers that we have, that's who you're. No, I'm just kidding.
Hey y'all.
So it's a good segue. We're gonna do the SWAT team now. The SWAT segment of our show.
Okay.
So what is your edge? What are your strengths? What differentiates you? Like, if I'm gonna get advice for health and wealth, what differentiates you from maybe someone else? Like, what your strengths are?
I love that question because you're able to reflect on yourself. So being a nurse, I would say prior to that I was more introverted, but when you become a nurse, right away you have to become intimate with somebody. You have to just go in there and really see people's vulnerabilities, and you have to give yours as well to connect to those people. And so that doesn't just happen, at least for me, at work in the hospital. I've seen it kind of in other aspects of my life with my relationships. So like yourself, I like to learn about people, like what are they about? And I think that when people trust you in that way, you can have those deeper conversations when it comes to health and wealth.
That's a good point. Like, obviously, when you're health, you're already kind of like scared and nervous, so that automatically you're like developing some kind of interesting bond there. So
Did you say that was a question, right? Yeah, strength.
No, that was a great answer.
Okay.
So now we're on to like what are your weaknesses now?
I always tell my mentor that I feel like right now my weaknesses are that I'm a perfectionist. Again, I think being a nurse is a blessing and a curse because you always want to be perfect. So I feel like when I don't know how you feel, but like when I'm not perfect in my
walk away.
Healthy. You
Not with a limp.
want to be like healthy. You want to be perfect in everything. But even when it comes to business, like I want to be perfect. And when I'm not perfect in like my business role, sometimes I want to run away from it. But as I'm learning, when you become an entrepreneur, it's not always going to be a straight line. There's going to be failures, ups and downs, and I just have to just keep on trudging through. So I guess that would be my weakness, just trying to be perfectionist.
I use the word analysis paralysis. Like you want to be so perfect, but you end up not doing anything. So
Exactly. Yeah.
it's a good problem to have, though. And then what about what about the opportunities with World Financial? Like, what are some of the opportunities out there to help people?
Well, it's a platform, so we term it as a financial Amazon. So when I came on board, I was initially a client. I had a one-on-one with a financial advisor actually my friend Hallie and her fiance, who were in the business, taught me about tax strategies, life insurance, getting my finances in order.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to learn more. I became a student. I was able to put a couple hours aside and learn how like basic concepts worked. And then I love education, so I was like, hey, why don't I share this with my peers, see what happens, because I know this is a good investment for myself.
Yeah.
And I know for sure other people will benefit from it.
Cool,
So,
cool.
Yeah.
And then lastly, threats, like potential threats to your particular industry or whatnot.
I think people, when they hear the term finances, it can be overwhelming and scary.
We have the crypto, like where's my money gonna be
Yeah,
wiped
like,
out or whatever?
Yeah, you just like wanna. It's like, people have their jobs, they're stressed out enough. Like, why do I want to learn about finances, right? It's like
Yeah.
another thing to think about. That's sometimes too much, but so I think that people just tend to like look away from it. But then it is a hindrance, because if you look away from that, it's gonna keep on building. Like the problems.
Yeah. It doesn't just go away. You gotta face that head on.
Exactly. So I think that's a threat, just not knowing, again, the basic concepts about it.
Cool. Well, that was pretty good. That's the end of the SWAT team segment. Let's go into some icebreakers. All right, so I need a number so basically you're gonna ask two questions. One is basically an adult-oriented icebreaker, and the other one is like for a kid-related icebreaker. So
Okay.
1 to 6. First question, because like there's 6 different colors. So I'm just
Okay. 5?
5. All right, 1, 2,
You
3.
like numbers.
I do. Well, that's the only way I can get it random. I don't even. All right, that's the first card. All right, and then another 1 to 6.
3.
All right. All right. First question will be the grown-up one. All right.
I ain't a grown-up.
Kid at heart. Yeah.
Kid at heart.
What's the last thing you bought for under $50 that you love and use often?
This is a good question. I actually got, what are they called, like when your car breaks down and you like the cables or something to restart
AAA.
the car?
Oh, the jumper cable.
The jumper cable.
Yeah.
Yes, Amazon.
And you use them a lot?
I just got them because my battery went out, and I was like, you know what? I need these.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That actually happened to me just recently. Yeah. I mean, you never knew you need them until you need them.
Exactly, right?
And then it's like an emergency.
And Amazon has everything, so.
They do. And then the kid-related question: who in your family are you most like?
My daughter, she's 1, and that girl's crazy. She's always laughing though. She be doing something crazy, then she like laugh about it. I'm like, oh my god.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So my daughter Aria.
Cool. Like the mermaid? Like was Aria the
No, her name means, well, I liked it because it meant like opera,
Oh, yeah.
lioness. Yeah, she definitely like exhibits those things. Yeah.
That's awesome. All right, and now for the main event, which you're all been waiting for, is the tarot segment. We pre-selected the card, but what do you want clarity on? Because this card will essentially give you an idea of what to expect.
Okay. Clarity on my business, like my brand, and how that will serve the community and be purposeful for God.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the card you selected was the King of Wands,
Okay.
which is actually a pretty good card. Wands mean, or rods, mean creation, building something. So if you have like a wand, like Harry Potter, you're creating something magically, or if it's a rod, you're like building like a structure.
Okay.
And then knights, they're just very focused and determined to goal-oriented to accomplish something.
Mhm.
So when you combine those two together with the King of Rods, what you have is just a very honorable, sincere, honest, very fair and wise situation. So based on just this whole interview and what you're trying to do for people, you're trying to help them out, and with the wisdom, with fairness, with kindness, and so yes, it's all related, and I appreciate what you're trying to do for everyone.
Well, thank you. I'm so happy to be here, and I love podcasts. I listen to them all day, so I really thank you for everything that you do as well for people.
Yeah, well, let's say ditto. All right, well, that's a wrap for this episode of EdgeM8. Again, I'm Chad, partner of Bridgepoint Technologies, taking you to the edge. And stay tuned for the next episode of EdgeM8. And everybody, have a good day. Peace.